Hello, 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 yogis, and welcome to our Wednesday Connect restorative practice. So, if you're looking for a relaxing yoga class where you can really let go, create the time and the space to get present and to open up through the heart, you are in the perfect place. My name is Jill Enticknap, and I am the lead trainer and founder of Yogi Institute, an online yoga school and studio. And this is where we're taking class this morning. You can see that the sun is coming up through the windows, and it is a great time to start our day. So our restorative practice, we always use props. So the props that I recommend having available to you are blocks, a bolster, and a blanket. Now, if you don't have a bolster, you could use a firm pillow of any kind, or you could use another blanket. If you don't have blocks, you can always use a book, you could use a shoebox, you could use a Tupperware container. This is very versatile, and you just want to find anything. You could even use like a smaller pillow, anything that will support the body during this practice. And that's exactly what the props are for. We utilize the props to support the body into intentional relaxation. And as we relax the body, we shift into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest nervous system. And we bring online our healthy digestion. We bring online our rest, that intentional release. Sometimes we're holding tension in our body and we're not even aware of it. And this is a great practice to become aware of that hidden tension and help use the breath to breathe that tension through the body and release it and let go and find that true relaxation. So today we're going to focus on opening up through the heart, and we're actually going to start today's practice in a supported fish pose. So let's grab our blanket and take it into maybe a quarter fold and place it underneath our low back. And then take that bolster or your firm pillow, and it's going to come behind you. So this blanket is bringing some extra cushion underneath your bottom. And then this bolster, you want to line it up with that low back, send the legs out long, and just start to lay the upper body down. Let the hands come down by your side. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Closing down the eyes and starting to become aware of the breath. Now, if at any point, any of these postures and any of these practices become too uncomfortable, either utilize the props, shift the props in a way that helps to support the body, or find something else that's similar. So maybe if the bolster is too much, maybe you can place a blanket underneath the back. And really the target area is opening up through the chest, where we can really gain a lot of tension through the day as we're on our computers or we're driving. So this is a really important pose to open up through the chest and ultimately open up through the heart. Let your hands come down by your side, palms facing up, palms facing down. Find what feels better for you. Maybe you want to tilt the chin slightly toward the ceiling as you open up through the throat. And let's bring our awareness to our breath and breathing into our lungs, feeling the chest expand and feeling it release. Feel it expand and feel it release. And as I let my voice fall quiet, I encourage you to really focus on that heart space and feeling the heart space expand with the breath. Let's take a few more rounds of deep breath here. Take a moment to acknowledge where your mind took you in those moments of silence. And as we're opening up through our heart, know that wherever your mind took you is something that is in your heart. And if it took you somewhere that is challenging, that may be something that is consciously, unconsciously, aware, unaware, heavy on your heart. So I encourage you to pay attention and reflect on where your mind takes you when you're in stillness and when you're in silence. Know that as you create the space for your practice and as you create the space for the stillness and the silence, that's where the heart can really come through. And depending on your experience, depends on how loudly or how quietly the heart speaks. Sometimes the heart speaks in a whisper, and sometimes the heart speaks in a scream. And ideally, we'd like to hear the whisper before the scream. So we create the space to tap in and listen to what our heart is saying to us. Let's flip our palms, palm facing down, slowly, gently press your upper body up. As you come up, let's take a moment and just kind of fold forward. Just kind of fold forward, lengthen out through the backside. And let's reach the left hand across, really gently open up through that right shoulder for a little twist. And then switch it out, opposite side. And let's come back through center. Turn yourself around. Come onto your knees and take that bolster crossways. Come into a tabletop position. Leave that blanket underneath the knees. If you need to roll up the blanket a little bit more for a little bit more comfort, that's totally okay. Let the hands rest onto the bolster and then let the forehead come between the hands and let the chest sink toward the floor and let the hips sink toward the space behind you. This pose is called melting heart pose. And it's really where we start to focus on the shoulders and the chest and opening up and creating space in these areas. Now it's up to you how much you sink your hips back. And as you sink your hips back, you may notice more sensation through the chest and the shoulders. And maybe you don't want that sensation, so you can come back forward. Allow yourself to be here, focusing on your breath, opening up through your heart. Let your awareness sink to your breath. And let's take 5 more rounds of deep breath here. Slowly, gently, press yourself up. Let's come right into a tabletop position and let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, arch and lift, and exhale, round and press. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, round and press. Take 2 more. Come back to neutral and let's come into a butterfly position as you bring your knees wide, ground down into your sit bones. Before we come into our still posture, let's wrap the hands around the feet and then inhale, shine the chest forward and exhale, round the spine back. And inhale, shine the chest forward and exhale, round the spine back. Take a couple more. Inhale as you arch forward and exhale as you round back. Inhale as you arch forward and exhale as you round back. Come to neutral. We're going to take our bolster out in front of us and we're looking for some support from that bolster. As we inhale, get tall, and then exhale, hinge forward, finding the bolster, finding that firm pillow, finding your blocks, finding anything that supports the head or the upper body as you lean forward. Let's come back to our breath here. Let's bring that torso through center. Place the bolster off to the side. Take a moment to flap out the knees. And then let's send the legs forward and pedal out the legs. Pedal out the legs. So good. And let's grab that bolster. Place the bolster underneath the hips. Lift the hips up onto the bolster and come into your supported bridge pose. You can walk your feet in nice and close toward the glutes. Tuck the chin to the chest to the chin. Make sure that the hips, make sure that that bolster is underneath kind of the biggest part of the hips, right underneath the sacrum, so that you feel nice and supported. And then tuck the chin to the chest and start to feel into the restriction of the breath in the back of the throat. And then to help open up through the chest, through the heart space, let's cactus out our arms here. Bending into the elbows, creating those 90-degree angles from the elbows to the fingers, from the elbows to the shoulders. And start to become aware of your breath. Breathe deeply into the chest. Feel it expand. And feel it release. Feel it expand. And feel it release. Continue on with this steady breath. See if there's anywhere that you can release and relax. As we're here, you can stay exactly as you are, but if you want to try something a little different, is engage through your core, engage through your chest, like tense up your muscles, and then relax. And then let's tense everything up. Tense the shoulders, tense the stomach, tense the chest, tense the abs, tense the legs. Keep it tense, and relax. Let's do that one more time. Intensify everything. Feel that engagement. I mean, the body isn't even moving, but you can start to feel the engagement anywhere you can. Engage, 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 and relax. Let's extend this full relaxation. Connect to the breath. Breathe into that open chest, that open heart space. And I'll let my voice fall quiet as just allow ourselves to be here. And let's press the hips into the floor, or press the feet into the floor, lift the hips up. Bring that bolster out from underneath, off to the side. Slow and controlled, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Draw your knees to your chest, wrap your hands around your knees, gently rock from side to side. Keep the left foot tucked in, extend the right leg straight up, take a moment, roll out the ankle. Switch it out. Right knee comes in, left leg extends, take a moment, roll out the ankle. Both knees come in, gently rock from side to side. Grab the backs of your legs, rock yourself up into a seated position. We're going to do a little bit more with the chest. We'll start by planting the hands behind us and then press the chest up toward the ceiling, tilt through the chin. Let's breathe here. Bring the torso back through center. Let's clasp the hands together and take a moment to roll out the wrists. And take that right hand, reach it up and reach to the mid part of the back, the center part of the back. And let's take that left hand and draw that elbow in. Bring the chest forward, deep breaths. Switch it out, bring that left hand. Use the right. Release that down. Let's take a moment to roll out our shoulders. And we're going to come into our deepest back bend, heart opening posture for today. And I promise I will walk you through it. So we're going to come up onto our knees and grab our blocks and place them on either side of the thighs toward the ankles. Now, we're coming into a supported camel pose. You may want to have your bolster in between your legs too, so that you can sink your bottom back. And then find those blocks, bring them back behind you as much as you need to, and press your chest forward, tilt your chin up, use the blocks for support. Now, let's say that you don't use the bolster. If you're there, you can stay there. If you don't want to use the bolster, plant the blocks behind you as you shift the hips forward, press through the chest, open through the chin. We won't be here long. Find your camel pose. Inhales and exhales through the nose. See if there's any room to draw the shoulder blades a little bit more together. 2 more deep breaths. and then press the upper body up, slow and controlled. Sink the hips to the heels, draw the knees together, and let's flip the palms, palm facing down on the thighs. Close down the eyes, deep breaths. And shift yourself off to one side or the other. Few more options for our last pose. You can take your bolster or your firm pillow across your mat and let the upper back rest onto that bolster. There's one option. Second option is you can take one of your blocks and you can place that block along the spine in between the shoulder blades, or it can be on its shortest setting, and you can let the back come down, letting the shoulder blades kind of be on either side, tilting through the chest, tilting through the chin. Or third option is you can come flat on your back into our final resting pose. So this is going to be the pose that we close our class in. So find something that works for you, that feels good for you. Let the shoulders fall away. Continuing to open up through the heart space. So why is it so important to consciously and intentionally, physically open up the heart space? So not only does the chest get tight because of working at computers or driving or all of the things that roll the shoulders forward so they can be extra tight, but on top of that, from an emotional standpoint, when we feel hurt, when we feel like we need to protect our heart, we roll the shoulders forward. We do anything to physically feel that protection. And if you want to heal, if you want to forgive, if you want to let someone into your heart, if you want to open up through the heart, not only do you need to do that from a mental perspective and an emotional perspective, but also physically allowing yourself to experience the feeling of that opening through your heart will help as well. So if you're wanting to heal a broken heart, this is really important. If you're wanting to heal from a negative conversation, maybe someone said something that really stuck in your heart, this is a great practice to help you let go of that. Maybe you're just wanting to cultivate more love, to express more love, to find different ways to express love. This can help you to do that. Living with an open heart helps us to be the most kind and compassionate versions of ourselves. And I believe that we don't even always realize that we are closed in this area. And when we come into these physical postures, that can raise our awareness to the mental and emotional aspects as well as the physical. So as we intentionally come into these poses to intentionally open up through the heart, we create the space for more love, more kindness, compassion, and forgiveness in our life. Let's take a moment here and wiggle out the fingers and toes. Flip the palms, palm facing down. Slowly, gently press your upper body up. Come into an easy seat. So I believe that we are always in need of forgiveness. And what I mean by that is there's always the opportunity to forgive others, and there's always the opportunity to forgive ourselves. So If you ever in your life have a time where that's what you're feeling, know that this practice is here for you. And even if it feels hard in the mind or emotionally, doing these postures, opening up through that space can help you to heal, to come to that place, even to come to the willingness to forgive, to show more love, to show more compassion. Thank you for being here, for allowing me to share this practice with you. It is always my honor to share this practice and knowledge and wisdom with others. The light, the love, the wisdom in me sees, honors, reflects, and encourages the light, the love, the wisdom in you. Namaste. I hope to see you again on your mats very, very soon. Know again, if you enjoyed this class, like it, favorite it, share it, invite your friends, leave a comment. I love to hear feedback. I love to hear from you. And until we meet again, may your light be your guide.